All right, we're live. Welcome along, and thanks very much for tuning into our episode 2 of our podcast. I am a filmmaker. My name is Ian, and these guys know me as Money, which is kind of ironic because most of the films I make are in the ultra low budget sphere of filmmaking, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm joined as ever by fellow filmmaker Steed.
What's up, Money?
And cinematographer and DJ Alexander J. Anderson. By the way, this is the man for all your wedding needs. He can photograph the wedding, he can video the wedding, he can DJ at the wedding, and he'll dance with all the bridesmaids.
DJ Yidders, putting that out there.
Fair enough.
.com.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, last time we were on, we were talking about the kind of breadth of films that we've done, the wide variety of genres, from World War II action movies to Brooklyn heist films to kind of dark horror, comedy, fantasy adventure. But the one thing that they all share in common is they've all been very low budget, because those are the constraints that we work under, and we're, I think, rapidly becoming experts in finding like creative solutions to working within very low budgets. So I thought it'd be fun if we brought to the table our kind of top 5 low budget movies, talked about them, just worked our way through them, so we don't know what's on each other's list, and we can kind of work our way down the list until we get to number 1. And then just as an extra little bonus, I thought it'd be cool if the person that has the 5 films that cumulatively cost the least amount of money wins a prize, which I haven't brought with me, by the way. So
right, I'm going to lose anyway.
Right.
Good, it's probably beer and you don't drink.
We all know that Steed's going to win this one, because
I think I am already. I'm calling it. Also because I talked with Yidders yesterday or something about this podcast and the subject and everything, and we're on totally different fucking ballparks. Like,
yeah.
Like, I think I know what he's going for, and I'm not.
Okay.
I didn't specifically think I'm going to beat you guys and pick ultra low budget
Well,
stuff. Like, it was. I thought that's what we were going for.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think this whole podcast is about is kind of talking about cool films and then talking about how they were made as well. So we're kind of interested in both parts, and it would be cheating if we just said, "Oh yeah, my mate John made this for fuck all," and it's on YouTube. So there's none of that. Hopefully, there's no skinjackers, there's no time warp, there's no like Hex Studios films, and people that we know are not in this. I'm assuming. For me, it's just like it's movies I've seen. Didn't cost a lot of money, and I thought that's really cool. That's outstanding, considering this costs like whatever, half of.
Oh, we don't know that though, don't we?
Yeah, we don't really know that. I've got some inkling.
But our Gary, who's vision mixing, doing the sound, he has a Google button, and he'll be able to find out via several Google buttons and how many ever internets that he's got what the budget was.
Yep, there's the Google button up on screen. Excellent.
Oh,
yeah.
Unseen to the viewer, we have stepped up our production game massively since the last project.
Hopefully seen to the viewer.
Yeah. Well, but there's a lot going on back here as well.
Yeah. We're now.
Whose search is this, by the way? There's some weird stuff coming up.
FYI, I literally just reinstalled Windows last night, so this has got nothing to do with me.
Is this your machine?
This is my machine.
Yeah.
Tesco Recall chocolate bars. Red Arrow's Flight Path. The next one I don't know if I can mention.
By the way, you're getting added to a list for having that on a Google search.
Death Hidden Nightclub.
So
this is making terrible podcast, by the way, because no one can see this because we haven't wired this into OBS. So
that'll be another stage of the production value.
Yeah.
So how are we doing this? Who's going?
Well, shall I just kick off my number 5?
Go for it.
I don't even have a number 5.
All right. Do you have like an order?
I was so puggled because mine are so low budget. Like I've got 4.
Oh, I don't have like
totally
a top.
win this.
It's not a top 5. Of
Oh,
course
right.
he is. He loves
I know.
absolute shite films. Like
Do
crazy.
you know what? This is gonna be a new prize if either of us have seen any of his top 5 films.
Oh no, you will have.
All
But
right.
you're right. When I sign into Amazon Prime, I can't get all the stuff everybody else watches.
Do you
I've
sort-
watched so much stuff that's so bad it's amazing.
Do you sort the
That's-
videos from price lowest to highest?
Oh, can you do that on Amazon? Amazing.
No.
But then, you customers almost also watched, and you get it's a treasure trove of so bad they're amazing films.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably how people find mine. Not because they're so bad they're amazing, but because they're so low budget. They're appearing on all those kind of. So I salute people like you. Thanks.
Someone's got to. Right, go on.
Right, so my number 5. I don't know if either of you've seen this film, but it's called 24/7, and it was by Shane Meadows.
Oh, I've got one of his films on my list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So 24/7 I saw when I was like, I think it was late 90s or something, and I think it was the first film he made. It's in black and white. Pretty sure it's shot in like 16mm film or something, and it's about a boxing club in like somewhere in the Midlands, which is pretty much where all his films were set. Bob Hoskins is in it, and he's brilliant in it. And then the rest of the cast are just kind of pretty unknown. But it's a kind of social commentary comedy type. Like it's a bit bleak as well because it's Shane Meadows, but it's such a good film. Like it kind of almost changed my outlook on what low budget films could look like and what they could kind of like how much emotion they could have and how much kind of energy they could have. I totally wholeheartedly recommend it. You'd
that
get
James
a real
Corden?
kick out of it. It's not James Corden.
That is. It must be.
That's
it is.
not the same film, surely.
So the black and white, what you're seeing top right, the guy on the left is in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah.
He's a guy who's like, I'll find you, and I'll kill you. Who are you talking about? James Corden, the guy next to him.
That's James Corden. And
Is
he's
it?
got curtains. He's got curtains, bitch.
Fucking way you tell me James Corden's in this film.
I hope he dies
That's
in
just
this
put
film.
it
Well,
on the lowest tier now.
No, because I remember this character, and I think he just gets a really hard time off his dad, who's the
Good.
guy next to him.
good.
So,
Right, Gary,
if that's
you're
James
going
Corden, that has blown my mind, by the way.
you're going to have to Google button if that is James
Yeah.
Corden.
But this is paying dividends.
It is. It's unmistakable.
I mean, he looks really fat and piggy, but is he fat and James Corden fat and piggy?
That's amazing.
Can't
that I
body
just
shame people.
described that as a cast of unknowns. Well, they were at the time.
It's fucking James Corden. Only
I know.
Americans like him.
No, I don't even
Here we
think.
go. There's,
I don't
there's
think
Bob
they do.
Hoskins.
There he is. Man, you know,
He's so good.
See, the first film I seen Bob Hoskins in was actually Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
So the next film I seen him in, it was like, he's got an English accent. He's rubbish at that. Like, I thought he was American, right? Just growing up watching Roger
Yeah,
Rabbit.
Bruce Jones from Coronation Street's in this as well, and he's good. He's really kind of plays a really tough role. But yeah, Bob Hoskins, I saw him. It's James Corden.
James Corden.
Holy shit.
James motherfucking Corden. Fat
yeah,
piggy face.
So I saw Bob Hoskins do an interview about this film, and he described it as a numb-bum film, and it's because he would sit down with his new scripts and read them on the toilet, and if he got a numb arse and couldn't, because he was so absorbed by the script, he knew it was good, and that's why he did this film.
I'm resisting making
Wait, I misread that.
numb arse jokes
Oh,
about
it
Sandy.
wasn't it was James Corden.
There we go, James Corden.
Yeah.
Tonka. is his character.
Tonka. Brilliant, yeah, it's all coming back to me. Wow.
Just like a
he's-
Tonka truck, you'd chuck it off a cliff,
He
much like you'd
started
like
it-
to
he
do to
started-
James Corden. You should do a podcast all about James Corden.
Well, I feel like
There's enough content about James Corden out there.
I've started this off on a weird foot. So
Well, it's interesting that James Corden started working with like a great indie film director,
Yeah.
and then it all went downhill from there.
Well, he had to,
If James Corden came to you with like £1 million and was like, I want you to make any film you want, but it's got me as the lead, would you do it?
For £1 million?
Yeah.
Probably. Right now, yes.
Right, what would it be? You got now to think about it.
Kind of. Well, it'd be like kind of like Saw, but it's all just about him. I might as well go next, by the way, because
Yeah,
it's a
well,
Shane Meadows film.
I'm gonna hand over. Let's.
Because I don't have a number 5 anyway.
Yeah, I'll come back to you
Okay.
with my James Corden pitch.
So mine's a. Do we find out the budget now or at the end?
right at the end, I think we should do all of them right at the end. Yeah.
Mine's a Dead Man's Shoes.
Oh fucking hell, yeah! What a
Yeah.
movie. That
I'm assuming it's low budget.
It will be,
And
yeah.
it's Paddy Considine's first role. I think he wrote the screenplay for it as well. And
I think I'd seen him. I think I had seen him in something before that, but
I think he started off as a stills photographer.
really,
Yeah,
Imagine
on
that.
set.
All
All the best careers start that way.
yeah.
And worked his way up and wrote the screenplay. I
What's
think he
your
wrote
lead,
the
by the way?
screenplay
Your
for it.
lead- your
Is that
lead-
what it is?
Yeah.
Just making the...
Nah.
Apologies, listeners. Oh,
Um,
now we've gone dead.
Yeah, written by Paddy Considine.
Wow. He must have had some hand in some of that dialogue because it's just his performance and the dialogue. Like I could watch it so much, especially the scene where the car pulls up and the guy gets out of the car and squares up to him. It's just so fucking
Yeah.
good.
The way he can switch on
Yeah.
a dime
Yeah.
is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
He's brilliant at it. It might be one of the best at it, actually.
The whole cast it's like a really interesting group of people because they're all playing these like, you know, older guys that are now living like sort of sadder lives, but are just still trying to act like they're in their teens, and they're all kind of it's just such an interesting sort of.
I don't know anyone
frame.
like that.
But yeah, obviously because he's coming at it from this past trauma that's occurred when they were all kind of younger and partying and stuff like that. But now they're all a bit sort of washed up and stuff. It's just such a movie. Like
It's one of those films I don't think I've seen start to finish. I've only just seen bits of it.
right.
So can I ask a spoiler-laden question?
Go.
Is his brother dead the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and it's his...
It's a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have you seen the scene at the end where you find that? Well, you would know he was dead.
Yeah.
Like they.
Yeah, but I never seen Sixth Sense
they-
and
they-
knew everyone was dead.
He was Bruce Willis the whole time.
Right. Being bummed by James Corden.
Right.
They
Right, who would win in a fight between James Corden and Vigo?
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say Bruce Willis now.
I thought you were going to say the guy's brother in Dead Man's Shoes.
So they feed him full of acid. It's so dark. They
Oh,
feed him
it's-
full of acid and then fuck with his head and then take him to a place in the middle of the woods and he hangs himself.
Yeah. He's just out his fucking nuts.
Yeah. It's an uplifting family feel-good film.
Yes.
So that is my number 5.
Yeah, it's
In no particular
it's
order.
totally exceptional. I mean, I love it. Right, give us your
Right,
whatever
let me refer to my notes.
Number X.
Funnily enough, hopefully you've seen it or heard of it and can offer some insight. My number 4 is, I'm assuming it's low budget. It certainly looks low budget. It is Who Killed Captain Alex? What? You guys have never heard of Who Killed Captain Alex?
No.
No.
Gary, help me out here. You heard of Captain Alex?
Nope.
No,
Wait a minute,
what?
wait a minute. I watched it.
Yes!
You had it on your thing.
There we go. Who Killed Captain Alex is...
Uganda's first action-packed movie.
That's right.
And
Nice.
it looks like it.
Sorry, I think I'm wrong. It was the Kung Fu guys. What would the
Yeah. So I think it's made by the same guys, and they're sort of their collective is called Wakaliwood. I don't know if Wakali is where these guys are based.
I was in Uganda yesterday.
No
No kidding. Yeah, I touched down in Entebbe for.
That's why I was sort of hinting before I said it.
About
Like
1
you might have
1 I was
some
in-
some insight into.
No, I've never heard of this film.
What?
But
I can't believe that.
it's on my list now.
Yeah, because I think Gary, the film you're on about, that's made by the same guys, is it like
Kung Fu Nazis.
Kung Fu Nazis? Yeah, from Africa. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's a
Is
famous.
that the full title? Kung Fu Nazis from Africa?
I'm not sure if it's from. Or
Is,
it might
is
just
that
be
yet another
it might
Ugandan
just-
movie with Kung Fu Nazis? in it?
It's the
'Cause
same dude.
Such a trope.
Wakaliwood. Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah,
tell us about it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Again, I'm rubbish. I just watch bits of movies.
But it's your top 5, right?
Yeah. Oh, because of how ultra low budget it is, and you know, like what gear they would have had and stuff.
Yeah.
Like nothing. You know, you can see it. That obviously there's some budgetary restraints.
I've seen this group of guys, and they're somewhere, I don't know where, in sub-Saharan Africa, doing, like, they remake scenes, and they do them so well. You know, they like, shot by shot, but they do them where, you know, just in the dirt, like in a back street somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like they're obviously filming in their little villages and stuff,
Yeah.
and like they're just like hand making like
Phones
wooden
and stuff.
guns and stuff, and,
Yeah.
and like some of the effects are like super ropey, but that's what makes it. It makes it amazing, and they're obviously you can tell they're loving it, and you know, and they are getting better and better. I think people are going out to help them and stuff.
Kung Fu Brothers.
Is that the same folks?
That looks much bigger production value.
Go up, sorry, because I'm sure I tried messaging.
I'm
the
assuming Who
dude.
Killed Captain Alex was like an early...
I think that was like their first one.
Right.
It was the one that put them on the map.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we going to be showing clips of films?
I don't know.
We
we need to check with the lawyers.
Right.
Gary's saying
I
no.
think we can do it.
Yeah, we might. I think we can probably do it as well. And I mean, who's gonna chase us from Uganda for?
I wouldn't mind meeting Shane Meadows anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. A brief Shane Meadows aside. If there's a guy. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. I can't remember. He's Gavin Clark. He does a lot of the music that's in Shane Meadows films. Did some of the music in This Is England and stuff like that. Phenomenal musician, and he was a really good mate of Shane Meadows. And Shane Meadows made a YouTube film, just like a documentary, where he follows Gavin Clark around. I highly recommend that. It's just on YouTube. It's about an hour long, and it's called, I think it's called the Room or the Front Room or something like that.
Okay.
Sitting room, maybe, I don't know. But and it's basically following him, and Gavin Clark's doing like a gig in his front room, and it sort of follows him from his front room up to eventually him kind of on stage and stuff. But it's so cool. Anyway, my number 4, and you've all seen this, it's Brain Dead. I have to be there.
Brain Dead.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen Brain
the
Dead?
Fudge. Funnily
That's
enough,
blown my mind.
funnily enough,
You get to explain that. Is that in your list?
it's not, but there's a link.
So I debated some of these because I've got movies, and we'll probably get onto, like, I've got some honourable mentions, and Brain Dead was one of probably a bunch of films I saw like 24/7 when I was young and impressionable and wanting to be a filmmaker, that I just again blew my mind because it made me think, holy shit, like, to do that with so little money, and there's a lot of effects in it, there's a lot of gore in it, there's a lot of funny bits, there's a lot of kind of crazy bits, but yeah, I stuck it on there because of all of the low budget movies like that I was watching, like Evil Dead 2, like
It's weird because I watched.
Bad Taste.
I think I watched Evil Dead 2. Got it from the video shop, and no, Bad Taste, Brain Dead.
Yeah.
I think I got them out the same sitting,
yeah.
and like Evil Dead 2 and Brain Dead. But also, if there's any American watchers, listeners out there, it's actually called Dead Alive, as on screen there.
In America.
In certain territories, it's called Dead Alive.
Weird.
I
I just love
remember
the
the
whole
poster.
concept of the Sumatran rat monkey.
Yeah, the rat monkey's amazing. But Yidders, you know, it's Peter Jackson that made it.
Yeah.
All right.
Right, so this
It's
is
right in front of me.
But like what he done it with, and I think at the time it was it not Guinness Book of Records most amount of fake blood used ever.
Is that right? Yeah, that does ring a bell.
Like for the bit at the house in the end, like in the lawnmower.
Yeah.
I do remember the poster. I was 4 when it came out.
That's not an excuse.
All right. I know it's not.
I don't think I watched it when
Yeah,
it
you've
came
had
out.
long
to be
enough.
fair.
I
What
know.
was it, 1992? Well, holy
So
shit.
you're going to have to explain it to me because I've never seen it.
What?
So the Sumatran rat monkey basically
Oh,
bites people and things just go.
which also
Shit.
has a cameo in, I think it's Peter Jackson's King Kong
Right, okay.
in the basement in the ship.
I thought you were going to say Pinocchio because Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Sumatran rat monkey cage.
Yeah.
In the cage where they're going to keep Kong.
You don't want to mess with the Sumatran rat monkey. The synopsis is up there for you. A young man's mother is bitten by a Sumatran rat monkey. She gets sick and dies. At which time she comes back to life, killing and eating dogs, nurses, friends.
The dog
and
when it
neighbours.
gets pulled out her fucking mouth. And then there's the evil baby as well, which is amazing. Like they cut it to and fro between shots of this like puppet. I remember loads of people used to refer it to a certain infamous JK from our town. But then they
We all
cut
know
from
who
they cut from the puppet to someone dressed up in the suit, like running, like wide shots, and then
Yeah.
cut back to, is it Nigel? No, that's one of that's his
yeah.
other one.
Is it?
And like he's beating up the baby, he's having a fight with it, but
Yeah.
he's in a park and like other parents are seeing him. It's hilarious, man.
It's well worth a watch. Like, of all the low budget ones, I think for me it was most outstanding, just because I don't know, it's pretty mind blowingly crazy. So what's your number 4 or your next on your list,
I'm just getting it back up again.
or your number 2, depending on which way you look at it?
I've got here. See, I'm seeing what you've picked, and these are actual low budget. I'm thinking films that I could have seen at the cinema that are still low budget. So I've got Buried,
Oh yeah, with Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Yeah, yeah.
because
I mean, apart
The
from
whole film
apart from the
takes place-
£7 million that they probably paid him.
I know that's the whole budget, I think, because it takes place in a coffin.
Yeah.
The entire film takes place in a coffin. I don't even think.
Is that why it's called Buried?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, it's all in the name. And I don't think. I'm not even sure there might be a flashback.
No, I don't think there is.
There's literally, it's just him and a mobile phone, isn't it?
That's all I remember. Yeah.
And I just thought it was a great concept.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
And well executed. And he
Does it not at one
pulls
point
it off.
as well? The camera like moves around the coffin as he kind of is just like scoping out the space that he's got. I vaguely
Yeah.
remember that. And it's incredibly like technical feat to shoot a film in that kind of confined space.
And they just build tension. It's just a tension builder for like
Yeah.
2 hours. At one point, a snake gets in there with him. You know, stuff like that.
James Corden crawls in.
Yeah,
okay.
nothing as bad as that.
I've started to have an idea for a James Corden film. It might involve a coffin and maybe underwater as well, and maybe some water snakes. Yeah, Buried. Yeah, good choice, man.
But even looking at it now, I'm just like, yeah, I've blown my budget.
You
Way up.
might have done.
But that could have been made for next.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what
To
I
be
mean?
fair, yeah.
Like literally, you
Well-
could have filmed that in a day.
Because this is the things, like a lot of the movies, like the two movies I've mentioned, and a lot of the low budget films I instantly thought of were probably made on film. In fact, were made on film. So Brain Dead was shot on film, must have been 1992, and 24/7, like I say, I think was shot in 60mm. So right away, it's got to be five figures because you're not making a film for less than that, like an actual film.
See, I was going to suggest the honourable mentions halfway through, but what if some of our honourable mentions fluff up our countdown? So what if we do honourable mentions at the end, and then that gives Gary some time to do the math?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
I've got 5 honourable mentions.
All right. I've got.
I got 5 honourable mentions.
Right. Let's hand over to Steed for
Right.
your next one. If you can read it.
Yeah.
Getting sweaty and like.
It is another Peter Jackson one. It is Bad Taste, his very first one.
Yeah. Excellent. That's cool.
Again, not seen it.
What?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dead Alive, Brain Dead is far superior. It's like, must have
Yeah.
had 20 times the budget of what he did for Bad Taste.
Taste, yeah.
Bad Taste must be like 0 budget.
Yeah.
But you could see where he got his beginnings from.
Yeah. I think. For me, I watched Bad Taste. I think it's the same with Evil Dead when we're talking about that. Like I watched Bad Taste after I watched Brain Dead, so I wasn't feeling it as much. There's some clips up there. What I remember more than anything is the cover of the DVD.
The alien with the
Yeah.
middle bar.
Yeah.
And, well, and then there's Peter Jackson himself, so tons of practical effects. And even,
That
it took
actually
them
looks
4
like video.
Yeah, it took them 4 years to make. But if you remember the end, so I think the finale takes place in a big house. I think the aliens take over a huge house, and he built a replica of the house, not full size, but pretty fucking big. Does it take off? Do the aliens?
remember.
The aliens turn the house?
Don't ask him.
Yeah, don't ask me.
And I think they turn the house into a spaceship, and it goes to take off, and then do the guys like blow up with a bazooka or
I
something?
mean, I feel like we're watching the film right now, so
Yeah.
let's just wait.
don't want
It's
some.
mad to me. I mean, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is like my favourite trilogy of films.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with it. I went to New Zealand for that reason. And
Well,
I've never watched any of his older stuff.
Yeah. Frighteners is good as well.
Yeah,
But-
I was going to say take us back how far you can with your Peter Jackson viewing, because
That's it.
what just Lord of the Rings.
Fellowship
Yeah.
of the Ring.
So
Yeah.
no King Kong.
No, but I didn't. Yeah, I seen the new King Kong. Didn't like it.
Didn't you make King
and
Kong
then,
after Fellowship though?
Yeah, he made that after Lord of the Rings.
all right,
yeah.
so pre Lord of the Rings, the Frighteners.
That's
is
the
that-
only one I can think of.
Again, only remember the posters from being a child.
Right,
Seen it at the cinema being advertised.
and that was pretty big budget. But despite having Michael J. Fox in it and stuff, that was all shot in New Zealand, which I didn't know
I didn't know
until
that, yeah.
recently.
It was actually when I was in New Zealand that I wanted to get into making films.
Ah.
'Cause I was on the Hobbiton tour, and I seen what went into doing what they do and how
Yeah.
long they spent scouting locations. And I was like, I want to scout locations. That's what I want to do. Like, I want to be a location.
It was good that
scout.
you were doing the Lord of the Rings tour and not the Hobbit tour, because it would have been a green studio.
Yeah, I went there as well. But
There's-
like, see, he's on another level. He grafted pieces of a tree together and everything to make it like accurate to the book. They've got that huge tree in the middle of Hobbiton.
Yeah.
It's like loads of different trees. Like it's like a zombie tree made out of different trees, and like wild attention to
That
detail.
is.
With Exploited, we were in New Zealand, we went to one of the Lord of the Rings places, and we were driving there, and the guy took us there, Kevin, who looked exactly like Stephen King, and it was like this huge lake, like massive, obviously we've got them in Scotland, and mountainside views and everything, but this was like times 10.
Like
it was
Taupo or something.
I can't remember, man, but it was like
Yeah.
stunning, beautiful, we're
cousins
like,
there.
I think
stood
it is that.
stood at the side of it, just mountains going on for days and days, and it looked stunning, beautiful. We were all taking photos of it, but a certain someone was like, "This is fucking shit. This is shit. This is shit." We're like, "Wow, look at it. It's amazing." "No, this is shit. This is shit." And then so he was like, we got back in the car, and then we were driving for ages, and this person took a turn driving in the van, and by this time it's nighttime, it's dark, and I was just like listening to stuff in my headphones and like just starting to nod off a bit, and all of a sudden I was like, "Argh!" Slams on the brakes, everything goes flying. He gets out the car, he's like, fucking amazing, and like opens the boot, and he's like going through his bag to get his fancy camera, fucking amazing, and I'm like starting to wake up being like, what's going on, what is it? So like get out the car, like rubbing my eyes to see what's so amazing, and he's like, this huge camera he had at the time, like taking photos, go, fucking amazing, and I go up, and I was like, what the fuck? It was a 40-foot high fiberglass tomato.
What?
Like, he was taking all these photos of this fiberglass tomato
At night.
at night, but it was lit up.
All right,
But
okay.
like the Lord of the Rings actual scenery was shite,
Yeah.
but this fiberglass tomato
Well,
was fucking amazing.
I had a similar experience, like not a similar experience to that, but like we drove for like 6 hours to get to Isengard,
Yeah.
and it was just like the Beveridge Park. And I remember just sitting down with my head in my hands, just raging. So like obviously the whole thing's CGI. So you get there and you're like, where's the fucking tower?
Yeah.
And it's just like kids playing and shit. So yeah, I relate to that.
Yeah, that you were missold there. Like that's the bait and switch.
So we travelled the whole country, but we didn't have an actual map. We just
Yeah.
had a map with all the rings on it, and each ring was a location.
Okay.
You love finding rings.
Oh. And so I'm a massive Peter Jackson fan, clearly. I've not seen any of his other films.
Right, I nearly mentioned this film earlier on actually, but my number 3 is Clarks.
That was
Yeah,
going to be in.
Clerks.
Clarks.
Oh, you said Clarks, like the
It's
shoe shop.
Clarks, yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's how they say it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Clerks.
Clerks.
Clarks.
All right. That's probably the right way to say it. Aye.
Yeah, but they don't say clerks.
Now they say clerks.
They say Clarks.
See, that's the thing. Like
Clerks.
I would say clerks.
Yeah.
And like but to
Clerks.
say that to Americans, they're like,
Yeah.
It's like a
Clark.
chavvy way of saying Clark, though, isn't it? Like Mike Clark.
aye, clerk.
Aye,
I-
aye.
Clerky cat's getting a shout out.
Yeah. I nearly didn't put this on my list just because I thought, like, I haven't actually, I think I've seen it twice now because I saw it and then probably only went back and revisited it. It's the kind of film that you watch once and then you don't really go back. And that's why it nearly wasn't there. Because there's other movies that will come to as honourable mentions that are a bit like that. That I watched and thought, yeah, it's good, well done. But, you know,
I mean,
I'm
I think it's cool concept that was it not the shop he worked in,
not-
but he shot the film at night. That's why he wrote into the story that the shutters were broken
right.
so that he
Oh,
could
yeah,
film
so
there
yeah.
entirely at night.
Okay, I didn't know that. But so for me, this film, the first time I saw it was I was a student and I was in first year and I was in the halls of residence and we'd had a night kind of getting mashed, drinking, and it'd been a late one. And one of my mates had come over, and this was really early on in uni. This is like 2 weeks or something into my first year at uni, and banged on the door. Woke me up about like 9 in the morning or something and said, I've just watched this movie, you've got to watch it. And he'd literally like woken up and watched Clarks and then dragged me out of bed to go and watch it. So me and this other guy went over and we just sat there like really hungover and really tired and watched it. I loved it. Like, just thought, to be fair, that was worth getting out of bed for. But yeah, I just I'm looking at Gary because I've gone dead. Oh, there, I'm back. Yeah, sorry, it's just
Kevin Smith. Eh?
headphones playing up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin Smith. You seen Clark's too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're freaking me out saying Clark's.
We're gonna have to resolve this offline.
Clark's 2 is Rosario Dawson's in that one, eh?
I can't remember. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the only bits I remember.
Yeah.
And Jason Mewes. And,
I'm into Rosario Dawson.
yeah.
And then obviously it's Jane Silent Bob's a spin-off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still love. I think I definitely still love it.
Here we go. Gary's using the Google button to find out what the pronunciation is. Oh, can you actually play it? What did it say? Press it again.
Yeah.
I think
Clark.
Clark.
I think that's
Clark.
right. Yeah.
But that's an
Clark.
English person saying it.
Yeah, that's
Clark.
that's the Queen's.
That,
Or the
that was
King's.
Clark though in English.
So how do Yanks say it?
Clark.
Clerk.
Clark.
Like they say Craig. Stuff like that.
You're blowing my mind here. Right, we will just have to do a lot of googling offline because this won't make a great episode otherwise. But we're gonna have to. We can't continue our friendship until this is resolved. So Sandy,
Oh god, they're not even low budget. I'm thinking about other ones that you have come up with.
Sandy did not understand the assignment.
I thought of clever concepts, and then I was like, right, surely that brings the budget down. I've got Moon.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Like this is the thing, right? So it's like horror and stuff. There's a very broad spectrum of. If someone said to me, Moon, one of the first things, or I had to describe it to someone, one of the first things I would say to them is it's low budget.
It's high concept, low budget.
Yeah.
So it should cost way more than it does, but
Yeah.
it probably still does cost
Well,
money.
it still costs millions.
Because we've got big Hollywood actors in it. But it does effectively just take place in one room, and it's
There's only like 2 actors in it. Or
yeah,
something.
but there's the voices.
Yeah.
And that's made by
Isn't Matt
Duncan
Berry one
Jones,
of the voices?
who's
Yeah.
David Bowie's son.
Zoe Bowie.
Yeah.
But is his actual name Zowie Bowie?
Zoe
changed?
Bowie, yeah.
Have you seen Moon?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a great film.
I didn't like it so much at the time. I'd like to rewatch it just because I don't know if I was disappointed just because everybody hyped it up so much, and
Alright.
I'm sort of like,
Yeah.
I
I love it. I
Rockwell.
love it as well. Like,
I really like Sam Rockwell.
yeah.
There's a film actually I've been wanting to watch with Sam Rockwell where he's got this like blonde, like haircut and tash. It's like set in space, and he's like the campest guy ever. You have an idea what it is? And he's wanting to find yeast, and he finds this
Sounds
like
like-
it's like a cow patch.
Sounds like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
It's not. I can't remember. You're gonna have to Google
He
it.
was
Gary.
he was a brilliant Zephyr Beeblebrox in
Yeah,
Hitchhiker's
yeah.
Guide.
But he eats this like cow pat thing, and it makes him float. And he's like
What?
the gayest guy in the universe. It looks so weird and hilarious.
Doesn't
That
ring
does
a
sound
bell.
pretty good.
Yeah, you finding it, Gary?
Looking.
Yeah.
He made
okay.
a film. One of the first films I saw him in. One of the first films he was in, I think, was where he's a lawnmower guy. Have you seen that? I'm trying to remember the name of the
Lawnmower
film.
Man.
I'm just watching. It's not a lawnmower man. I'm just watching and waiting for Gary to scroll low enough. But he's just working in like a suburban kind of doing these lawns and befriends like a kid there. It's a really cool film, very touching film.
I think it's more recent than that, Gary. You're down like 2005 and 6. I think it's like maybe 5 years old, 7 years old, something like that.
What is that film
It looks a
called?
lot older, doesn't it?
Oh, did you find a picture of him
I've
with
seen
his
a video of that.
right,
a
right,
clip of it
and he's
before.
got this like sort of blonde, like fringe and like super long hair. He looks like something out of really camp He-Man or
He's
something.
been in a lot of films.
A lot of good films as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the first thing I saw him in
He's
was
never bad.
Green Mile. Is it Green
Yeah.
Mile? Is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that film is... It's probably quite a high budget than what films that we make. But you know what I mean? Like, for what it is,
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to end up being a lot less than people expect. It's just a single room,
Yeah.
most of it. You know what I mean? There's a fair bit of CGI.
There's some VFX and stuff, but yeah, and you've got Kevin Spacey, Matt Berry, a few other people. Yeah. I reckon
My
it's
budget's
15
gonna be massive.
15 million, I'm going to say. But
I
anyway,
don't think it's going to be as much as that, but yeah.
Okay.
But when
right.
Duncan Jones is also making Rogue Trooper, which is coming
That's
out,
right.
and I grew up reading 2000 AD comics, and as much as you got all your superhero Marvel movies and stuff, 2000 AD is where it's at. They should be making more.
100%.
So Rogue Trooper would make a flippin' amazing film. And
Yeah.
here it is.
What the
Gentlemen
fuck?
Broncos.
Gentleman Broncos, is that what it's called, Gary?
I think so. Yeah.
Right, cool.
We're gonna have to insert these clips in
Yeah.
Yeah.
for context.
Who's going to do that?
I don't know.
You, master editor. Oh, I really want to see this. This is one for movie night.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks good. Right, okay. Let's move on from Sam Rockwell, Gentlemen Broncos.
Yeah.
What have you got for us?
What are we on number 2?
No, I think this is 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've still got 2 after this, so
Right.
you should have 3 left.
But I didn't have 5, I only had 4.
You only had 3.
3. I've added another.
Oh, wait a minute.
I've added another.
There's no way you can win a prize for like lowest overall budget when you.
Yeah, you have to come up with one on the fly.
Yeah. All right, come on.
I've already
I'm
lost
shocked
anyway.
at that. I'm shocked that I thought you'd be struggling to prune your list down to 5.
Well, nah, because I didn't research more because Yetters put me off. He was talking about like
Armageddon.
big
And,
budget stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
right.
Independence
I
Day.
I wasn't sure if I was looking into the wrong shit. I've got a shared top spot. No, do I? Okay, stuff it. Number 2 is Dick Dynamite, my movie. Ahaha.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Can I not do that?
No.
Well,
You don't even like it that much.
No, but at the same at the same time, it's just like for costing 10 grand. And, like,
there's
what-
no denying
Like
it.
what we've achieved on 10 grand. Like how many airports we filmed in. How many?
But you're cheating because you know it costs 10 grand.
Let's be honest. The rules are going out the fucking window a long time.
You can put that in the honourable mentions.
I am winning this competition.
Well, clearly.
See, this is why
I don't know how you're fucking disqualified from this.
Well, he doesn't drink, so it doesn't matter if he wins.
This is why I asked you if you wanted a forfeit.
All
Oh, snap.
right.
Oh, I was going to bring something like a horrible.
I'm
treat
going to
for
pay more
us.
attention next time. To the hints. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a pretty good film. Like,
Yeah, but like I said, what we achieved with little to no budget, 2 Spitfires, D-Day planes, like it's nuts for 10 grand. Come on, and for all you people that slagged the film off, make your debut film for 10 grand with all these things
yeah,
and rock stars,
yep. Kicking the
etc.
camera along
You
there.
do need, you do need, like, not a lot of people have the community that you have around here. Anywhere else as well. Do you know what I mean?
And this is
I
Fife.
don't-
This is the hotbed of.
This is
indie
Fife.
film
I don't think anyone could mobilise.
This is Fife.
I don't think anyone could mobilise like 100 people on a Sunday to come and stand out in the piss and rain. You know what I mean? That's not normal. Like, and what you get in return? Oh, you might make the cut,
Yeah.
and I'll give you some sausages and some crisps. That's pretty special in itself. I mean, let's be real. If everyone had been on like 50 quid a day, that film would be like, I don't even know.
Well,
It's
yeah,
up in the millions.
yeah.
It's
They,
up in
they
the
do
hundreds
say
of thousands.
they do say that your operating budget should be, that's what it should be posted as is what the value of the film, and if that would be a really interesting exercise is to go through. You're never going to do this because it's admin, and I could see you're like glazing over or fucking. But yeah, to look at like all the locations you filmed in, all the extras you had, like how much would it cost, you know, crew rates, whatever, and then put a budget together, and I reckon, yeah, $500,000 at least.
At the very least.
Yeah.
Aye. You're a few grand a day. And we shot, I mean, I wasn't on every shoot, and I've got 60 odd folders of shoots.
Yeah,
So that's 60 days on location.
I delete all mine.
Well, we need them. Just about to send it off.
All right, okay, good. So, yeah, fuck it.
If you want to hear more about Dick Dynamite, go back to the last episode
Yeah,
where it was talked about in depth.
exactly. Yeah, that's a great plug. Right, my last two, these are two of my favourite films probably, and the fact that they're low budget is just incidental. But I know you've definitely seen this because we all watched it together at one point. But Coherence is my second from top. Have I seen that?
Me and you watched it when we were shooting The Goodman up north
Oh,
in an Airbnb.
maybe we didn't all watch this together then.
Yeah.
So I really like Coherence. It's a sci-fi thing, and it's quite interesting off the bat. As soon as you start watching it, you're wondering what the hell's going on. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers or any indication of where it goes, but just to say, it's a kind of dinner party set up, and there's lots of different characters in this dinner party. That's like quite a big dinner party. There's about 8 or 9 people in it, and events start to go a bit weird. And as the film progresses, it's one of those movies where they just kind of build on whatever twist they put in place last time. They twist it a little bit more, and it just gets more and more twisted until your head's in a bit of a spin. And I love it for that, because every time I've watched it, I've always just found myself totally absorbed by it, and amazed at the performances and stuff, the way it was shot. I think there's a lot of ad-libbing, there's a lot of improvisation in it.
The actors didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
As well, the director didn't tell the actors what was going on, what was causing, what was happening.
Was it Shawnee, my brother?
And they just made it up, and a lot of the reactions are real because the crew were just bursting into the room, or there was people chapping on windows and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of know what the budget was for this one,
I think
roughly, and
yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah,
wildly low.
I think I did look it up. Yeah, and I think I knew it was wildly low, but I'm rubbish with remembering details like that. So I do have a couple of figures in my head that it might have cost, but yeah, I know it is scary low.
And it's got that guy from Buffy in it, right?
Yes, that's
that
right.
sticks out to me.
He's about the only person you would recognise.
Which guy? The guy that's in Little Britain?
What?
No.
It's in Buffy.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking
James
about,
Head, Giles Head,
I
Anthony
don't know.
Giles Head, or something.
The English dude,
if
and he's
you
not
bring up-
like Prime Minister in
Yeah,
Little
cast
Britain.
on IMDb.
I know. You're thinking of the librarian dude from Buffy, Nicholas Brandon.
Is it not? I thought it was
I've
Maurice
not
Sterling.
seen him in a lot of things since then.
I was thinking of the top right guy, the guy that plays
Emily
Kevin.
Baldoni. Did you know you used to go out with her, Sandy?
Nicholas Brandon.
Did you go out with him
That's
as
totally
well?
not the person I was thinking of.
He was like the red-haired girl's, Alison Brannigan's boyfriend.
Right. Not
I
in
really
Coherence.
like Buffy.
Anyway,
I rewatched it.
this
but
is a hard.
recently.
Have you ever seen the film though?
No, it's maybe terrible, isn't it?
The film, like without Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
still Josh Whedon, though, eh?
Christy
I think so.
Swanson.
That came out before the series,
Or if that's right.
I think.
We need to get Gary to
okay,
see
yeah.
if it's Kirsty Swanson, but
Christy.
yeah. I think for a future episode we should have a guess who of how many birds are on IMDb that Sandy's been out with.
We can't even edit that out.
Wow.
If you want to start bamming each other up, by the way, you're fucked.
Oh no! I thought it was funny.
Gloves off. Fucking gloves off now.
All right, shit.
Obviously funny. Okay.
It's
So
none.
Right, yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
right.
moving on to Sandy.
See, I've got like a short list that I'm picking from here.
Is it going to be one of the Lord of the Rings?
It is Let the Right One In.
Oh,
And I
excellent.
don't even think it's low budget,
Yeah.
again. But I just wanted to talk about it because I love it so much.
It'll be pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it really just takes place in a housing estate, a scheme.
Yeah.
Like
Is that the Scandi one?
Yeah. The other one was Let Me
Yeah.
In. Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, they ruined it.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
they do
totally.
with everything.
Yeah.
They remade it. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
Hoyte von Hoytema, one of my favourite cinematographers. One of his earliest films. And it's just really bleak and dark, and I love that.
Yeah.
And I hope it's cheap. But also, I've lost this anyway, I don't care. It's probably not that cheap.
I'm going to say about $1 million, I reckon. But yeah, it's a great film. Totally great. I've seen it a few times, and I thought Let Me In was okay, but nowhere near as good.
Because it's not creepy and Scandinavian.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
yeah.
It
I'm sure-
completely lost that.
I'm sure there was a death in that wasn't meant to be funny, but we were all killing ourselves laughing at it.
The scene I love is when she's in the swimming pool, and
That's the one
yeah.
that stands out to me. I remember it being in the swimming pool. Yeah.
and she just goes under the water, and then things just start landing in the water. It's so good.
It's vampires, eh? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we get your
My number
is
one
it your
spot.
last one. I can't keep up now.
My number one spot.
Right.
El Mariachi.
Yeah, nearly. It's so close to being on my list. So close.
You got it right.
So
You seen
I've
it, Sandy?
just not watched films. I've not seen any films.
You not seen El Mariachi?
do you know the story behind it? Do you know what?
Nope.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll let Steed explain it.
It's about mariachi, which translates as musician, and he has a guitar case full of guns, and he kills lots of people.
If this
bad
concept is
guys.
familiar to you,
Oh yeah.
have
I
you
know
seen
about it.
Desperado? Yeah.
Desperado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the
exactly,
prequel to Desperado.
Ah, right.
It was the same film, really.
So it's just
He just made
proof of
Desperado because
concept.
it was like, now we've got some money.
Yeah, so a requel.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even know that was
No?
what
Right.
that was.
Well, thing is, like the dude that plays mariachi at the end of Desperado, when Banderas brings these two guys out,
Yes.
he's one of them.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, this came out with the Adam Smith, like, back in, like, what, 92 or something? And I remember
Right.
going to see it. 92 or is it 93, Gary?
It's 92.
92, there we go.
That would be mind blowing. See, again, I watched Desperado first, so watching El Mariachi was like,
Yeah. But I remember someone was like, oh, I was laughing at it, oh, the footstep noises and everything. And like, that went over my head. I just thought it was a fucking amazing
I
film.
think I remember it feeling like it was obviously dubbed, but other than that,
But
was-
no, I think what he done, because I read his book actually.
did he not record everything after the cameras
Yeah,
had rolled?
yeah,
So it was all
yeah,
authentic audio.
Yeah, so he'd record it on scene, but like right after they do the line. And apparently there's a lot of shots that people thought are arty, where it cuts to someone else, where someone's saying something, and those bits were where the dialogue was a bit shonky. So it wasn't an artistic choice. It was just because it looked a bit crappy.
But no, I'm glad you brought him up, because you can't talk about low budget films, I think, without talking about Robert Rodriguez. Like, and the way he did again so much in that. You sent over that podcast interview with him the other day, and it was just brilliant. Like, everything he said, about that film and Desperado and how they got made, and his whole approach and attitude to it, and each time he'd make a film, he'd just be like, right, okay, if we had another million, what could we do? And if we had 10 million, what could we do and stuff? So it was, he doesn't change the way he makes films. He just spends more money.
Yeah.
He just goes bigger.
Yeah,
Like,
and I remember even watching like a making of Spy Kids, and it's like the interior of the spaceship or something, but they only built half of it, and then just mirror image flipped it for the other half, and so even on big budget stuff, he's still doing like creative choices like that to scrimp and save.
Yeah, what I did. So yeah, we better kind of fly through this if we're going to stick to an hour. My top one is Primer. I don't know if you've seen Primer. I've recommended it to you a couple of times.
Did you?
Aye.
Let's see what it is.
So Primer.
Oh yeah, we watched this.
Yeah, it's very, very.
Me and my brother watched
mind-bending.
this.
Yeah, because you sent me something and said,
I
give me a
I
recommend.
didn't understand it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think I watched it and it kind of just made me feel. I think my brother's comment was, "This just makes me feel stupid." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't wrap my head around the concept."
So most people, in fact, just about everybody doesn't understand it at some point. I think like the film basically leaves you behind at some point, and it's kind of meant to do that.
It's crackling, sorry.
Right, no, that's okay. That's probably just me sitting on Chris Packer or something. Yeah, so it's a kind of time travel film, and it's very low budget. It's two guys. The thing they're working on is a machine that can make things lighter, so that you can move stuff around in transit and save money, basically. So they start putting stuff in this machine, and they start discovering that anything that goes in the machine is kind of looping back in time. So then they build a bigger machine and they put it in storage, in one of those storage facilities. So when we were in New York and we went to the storage facility, that's all I could think about was Primer.
That's when you brought it up, aye.
Yeah, because they've got this, they've got one of their time machines in there, and they go in, and the way that time travel works in Primer is for every minute you spend in the machine, you kind of go back. So you kind of go backwards in time and stuff. So people, they go in and they go back and they relive the day that they were in, so they go back, they sit in the machine for 20 hours or whatever, and they get out and they relive that day again, and they go on the stock market and they make they make all these sales, make ridiculous amounts of money and stuff. But then it starts getting twisted because he takes a machine inside the machine, and he takes the machine further so he can go even further back, and you start realizing that this has been going on a lot longer in the film than you realized, because they've got the earpieces in so they can record everything, and they know what conversations are happening in the past. It starts getting
even explaining it
really wild. Yeah.
And I've seen it.
Yeah, but I think it's a brilliant film because I found it totally captivating, really well written. The guy that made it, Shane Carruth, is kind of sullied himself a bit because there's some sort of like a domestic assault charge or something. I can't remember the details of it. So he's sort of fallen out of favour with the people that love this film and loved the follow-up film, which was called Upstream Colour, which is good as well, really good, really mind-bending too, and really surreal. But yeah, Shane Carruth, and I'm not sure. So he's never really made anything after that. He made Upstream Colour, and he was supposed to be making this huge film that was stuck in development hell for ages, and then he just kind of pulled out filmmaking. So I don't think we're going to see any more of him. But
And you said that film only cost the film stock.
I can't remember. Yeah,
But
something
about
like that. Yeah,
because it really is just two people.
it was. I
Chatting.
know that it was one of those things he took to a festival and they watched it and they said, "Yeah, we love this, but it sounds shit, and you need to grade it properly." So they paid for that process to get done, and then it made a lot of money because it became this kind of cult indie film. But yeah, have you got?
I need to
another one?
rewatch it then. Yeah. Wait, because I swapped one out at the last minute with Barry, so I need to which one I swapped out. Run, Lola, Run.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent film.
Yeah, that's my last one.
That's probably the lowest budget of all the films you've.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Lowest in comparison. Again, my mind goes to like surprisingly
Innovative,
low
yeah,
budget
yeah,
for
exactly.
what was produced.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a film that you watch and you immediately know this didn't cost a lot of money, but it stands out.
Yeah. I'm not thinking like Ugandan Nazi ninja. You know what I mean? That's just not where my mind goes. This is one of the a film that I seen really early on that really just got me more into film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just a great film.
Can you give
It's
us
it's a concept that's been done loads of times.
I was going to say, can you give us a brief synopsis? Remind me. I have seen it.
It's
but
like a robbery. Yeah, she has to come up with money really quickly, and the robbery goes wrong, but then she replays the event.
yeah,
I was
she
gonna
like
say, yeah.
lives in a loop sort of thing. But is
Yeah.
it not sort of like, what if, like, just
Yeah.
for instance, if it's someone getting hit by a car, and it's like, what if they were 10 seconds later
Yeah, it's
or
a
10
bit
seconds
it's
earlier?
a bit sliding doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's what I was trying to remember. Was it like I was trying to remember if it was like the Tom Cruise Edge of Tomorrow where
Yeah.
she's dying and then reliving, or if it was that.
it's more
It's
sliding
come back to
doorsy.
me, yeah.
But I think that probably came out before sliding door. Yeah, it's 1998.
Yeah, that's I think that I could do a rewatch on that actually. Yeah, I might seek that back out again.
It's a good film.
Yeah, I think I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's find out what these films cost if we can
Yeah.
get budgets.
Gary, did you add in El Mariachi to my one, the budget for that?
I shall add it now.
Excellent. Well, should we talk about honourable mentions in
Yes.
the
Yeah.
meantime?
Good idea.
Well,
Yeah.
you've only got 3 in there anyway.
No, 4.
Dick Dynamite as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting disqualified. Don't worry about it.
Well, one of my honourable mentions was going to be Clark's.
Clark's.
But we already chatted about that, so
Yep. Cool.
someone else.
Is that? Well, no, you got
El
more.
Mariachi cost $7,000 to make.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Film stock.
Wow. I'm fucked.
So my honourable mentions, and these were also my honourable mentions last time. Blair Witch was one of them.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I genuinely
that's-
thought it was again one of those films in that period of time that I watched as a kind of aspiring filmmaker and thought that's how you do it. Like that's how you get attention. That's how you make something that people are compelled to watch.
One of the first ever viral marketing campaigns for a film as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a huge budget. Like Mad Max.
The
Which
first
one?
one.
The
First one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it huge though?
Compared to $7,000.
Not compared to Moon.
Yeah. I think we're going to be surprised on Moon.
Maybe.
I'm just going to rattle them out.
I've
Do I just rattle
got
them
another
out?
one as well.
Yeah.
So, Wreck.
Oh, aye, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the Spanish one?
Yeah. Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. That's
Surely that
famously
cost
low
like
budget.
20 quid.
20 grand. I think it was.
Superterranean.
Oh, thank you very
Genuinely.
Why the fuck not?
I've watched it like 10 times, and not just because Ian made it. Manfish.
I thought about Manfish.
Oh shit! Is that the one we watched?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Canvey
I love that
Island
film. I
and-
thought
yeah.
it was tremendous.
I thought it was quite good. Yeah.
Rocky
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Rocky was almost on my list as well.
and Train Spotting.
Nice. Yeah. Dog Soldiers,
Oh yeah, nice.
which I don't know how much that cost, but it couldn't have been much.
I mean, no, it just it like jumps colours from shot to shot. It's not even
Yeah.
graded. Like
It's-
it's very
it's
very.
got a
B-movie.
decent cast. It's got a legit cast.
That's a
but-
great film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks cheaply made. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but
Yeah. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels I put down because I think I read this recently about the budget and I can't remember what it is, but I think it's like scary low. I think it's less than $1 million anyway.
oh aye. I
And-
remember hearing that Guy Ritchie only got paid $7,000 for directing it.
Yeah, or that's all he's made or something from
Aye.
it, or he hasn't made any residuals of that. Yeah, I think I heard that as well, which is insane. Like that's scary if you could make a film that good as your debut. He's got a career out of it. He got Madonna out of it.
It actually kept me going at one point. I remember saying to Steed, because you know what it's like. You go like this with confidence, and what the
Yeah.
fuck are we doing? Like, can we do this as a job? And I seen about Guy Ritchie making $7,000 off that, and then going to America and pitching it to people, and
Yeah.
living on people's couches and stuff. And he's just made Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Well, Josh Brolin as well. I remember hearing him on Team Deacons talking about before he did No Country for Old Men was basically doing the same thing. He was sleeping on couches, or he was living, but he was doing like 2 jobs a year or something, and that was basically giving him a working class wage, and that just blew my mind because he was still a guy you would recognise on the street from being in the Goonies and stuff. He's still a guy you would think like I would put you in my film, even before his career took back off again. So, yeah, the idea that people could be even like that, like famous and but then I think he was happy doing that. I think that was a lot by choice. He was probably getting offered a lot more than he was taking, but anyway,
Gives
yeah.
you hope. Gives you hope.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs was the only other one I was going to chuck on my list.
I was thinking that would be up there for a low budgety one.
Yeah, I think it cost about $7 million. Is always my recollection with it, which kind of started like you got Steve Buscemi, Michael Madsen, Harvey Keitel, even Tim Roth probably got something for that, and the music, paying for the clearance on all that music as
That would be a
well.
lot. Yeah. What's it looking like, Gary?
Right,
have
here we
we got the numbers?
Primer budget $7,000.
Okay.
We've got them on screen.
Primer was $7,000.
I
How
did-
about that? Yeah.
I didn't bring my
So
glasses.
shall we just do a slow roll and I'll read them out then?
You could do that if you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So here's Ian's films. We've got Primer, 7,000. Coherence is saying 0.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because it didn't cost anything to make.
Aye, alright. They must
I read it.
calm down, Gary. Jesus Christ! But they must have had to buy a camera or something.
The thing is they already had the gear, and it was actually shot in 1 day or something.
Right.
And everyone did it for free.
Improvisation on location.
I didn't know
pay
that.
for that.
And
So it
everyone
was,
just took a cut or something.
Well, it made $139,745 back in
No.
the box office.
Then maybe they all just took a cut.
Like
gamble.
The budget was nowhere to be seen.
There was
Yeah.
working actors in it though. But aye, fair play.
Yeah, that's astonishing actually.
Okay, so we've got Clerks at $27,000.
Yeah.
Brain Dead. Oh, and it took $4.5 million back off that. Brain Dead at $3 million.
How's
Only took $242,000 back, and he got to make
What?
Lord of the Rings.
There was no budget available for 24/7.
No, but Brain Dead. How did Brain Dead cost $3 million?
What did you think it was less?
It might be in
I
New
thought
Zealand.
Brain Dead was like $50,000 or
It
something.
might
like-
be New Zealand dollar,
Yeah, but still,
which is half of that.
that can't be right. Surely
We'll
you
keep
couldn't-
going.
So, I
We'll
mean,
keep
like,
going.
last
We'll
How,
keep
how
going.
the hell is he raising $3 million for even New Zealand dollars? Like I know you've been to New Zealand. Are they worth?
So Steed,
So yeah, the
What
giant
we-
tomato eye. Right
what were you gonna say?
Anyway, okay, like
Yeah,
let's
imagine
move
being
on.
a
let's move
farmer
on.
and you could sell a 40-foot tomato, you know.
Right, let's go back to this.
For 3 million.
For 3 million.
Yeah.
24/7
24/7, zero budget.
Is
Couldn't
gonna,
find a budget.
what a return though, 800 grand. That's decent. Of all the low budget movies, apart from Clark's, which has made 4.4 million apparently, that's a pretty good return from 24/7.
So we're sitting at 3 million for Ian's films.
Yeah, and I dispute 3 million of that.
Mine's going to be 10 times that.
Here's the proof.
Yeah, Wikipedia. We can only go with Wikipedia.
Wait, what?
Brain Dead at the side here, 3 million.
Yeah.
Well, no, when's the last time you watched it? Last time I watched it, I was like, oh, this looks way bigger budget than what I remember.
I've fucked up then.
Right. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. Right. 3
I-
million. We'll call it 3 million. Oh, God, here we go. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah,
It's not as bad as I thought.
I thought Moon would be the.
Moon only cost 5 million to make.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, I said 15 million at some point,
Yeah.
didn't I? Yeah. That's good.
That Ex Machina only cost 15 million to make, and I remember being impressed by that.
Yeah.
And that only takes place in one room as well, to be fair.
Just a nice Airbnb.
Yeah, it does look. That's what it looks like. Buried 2 million.
That's
Ryan Reynolds' whole pay
Yeah.
packet.
Yeah.
21 million back. Run Little Run 1.7 million. Dead.
Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you. So your films, although they cost a lot, they've had a much better return than my films.
Yeah.
With the exception of Clark's, which made a fucking decent packet. For Run Lola Run to make 22 million, and Buried to make 21 million. Like
That's
Jesus.
kind of where my mind went. It was like small budget for the scale of the
Yeah.
film. Do you know what I mean? Rather
Yeah.
than just
that
small
almost
budget.
deserves a prize in itself. Like.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Dead Man's Shoes 723,000. I'm surprised by that, and it only took 414 back. Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
These are box
Let-
office figures, aren't they? So
Yeah. Let the Right One in 4.5 million.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a wee bit shocked at that. As well,
11.2 return.
What did you think it was going to be more for Let the Right One in?
No, I thought it would be less.
Less.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be
I
way
thought
less.
I thought it would be indie film prices like 200 grand or something. I thought it would be in the low budget. For me, that's just budget. It's not even low.
But then you got to take in post-production budget and marketing budget. As the film grows, so does the budget,
Yeah.
I guess, from
Yeah.
that perspective. So I'm at 13.9
It's 2008
million.
as well.
You're going to be like 50 pence. So you're, honestly.
I can't wait to
Honourable
see.
mentions: Paranormal Activity, 15 grand. Trainspotting,
That's what
1.5
I said,
million.
15.
Manfish, no budget, because it was a zero budget film, wasn't it?
Um,
Pretty much.
No,
I mean, there
no,
was.
I think I
There's
think
an
it'd be-
honourable mention I didn't mention, and I'm intrigued about the budget for that. It's called The Man from Earth. You seen
Oh
that?
yeah.
You seen
Yeah,
that?
you put me onto that for Super Terrain. I can't remember anything about it, but I
We'll come
remember.
back. We'll come back to it. Though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, isn't it?
What was the budget for Manfish?
I don't know, but I
There
got
was
the
one.
impression that it was definitely
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Rock-
marked them red because there's no record of
Right. Okay.
any finances.
Rocky was 860 grand, and took
I-
225 million
IMDb
back.
IMDb might have the budget for both of those. For Subterranean, there's a budget on IMDb.
What is the budget for Superterranean?
1,000?
1,000.
Yeah.
Mad Max 350 grand. Yeah.
That's shit
Decent.
hot. Yeah.
100 million return.
1979 though.
Yeah.
All right.
So
here
we're
we go.
on to Steeds here. Dick Dynamite 12,727.12.
Dollars.
$.
Dollar bills,
That's the price of a Skoda, second-hand Skoda in the US.
Oh, who killed Captain Alex? Look at the budget on that.
Who Killed Captain Alex? $85.
That's
Wow.
amazing, man. Well done.
Yeah, you win. Bad Taste 25 grand. And El Mariachi 7k,
Technically,
bringing your total to 44,812.
but you're missing one movie.
Mm.
So
You
we
got,
should
so you
get
have
up
to
early
pick.
or
You have to pick a film right now on the
Yeah.
spot.
And if it costs less than 3 million, you're
Then did I lose? Fuck.
no. If it costs more than 3 million, you lose.
Oh, there's that
'Cause then
Irish
you're
one.
bust.
Oh, the Irish action film. Help, Gary. You're my only hope.
Irish action film.
Irish action film. Fuck.
Irish accent film.
You
Action.
need to know what it's
We
called.
can't even say it.
Yeah,
Um,
you need to be able to rattle.
It's
it
got
off.
like a total 90s cliche action name, like Engagement of Tomorrow. Or do you know what I mean? It's got like some crappy.
Is it like a film about the Troubles, or
No, it's like wanting to be like full on Jet Li type action sort of thing.
I don't know.
Irish action movies. Maybe type in low budget. I'm pretty sure the whole thing's on YouTube. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Nah, you need to be able to rattle off.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
be here all night.
Yeah. What if I just pick that one I was on about, the
The man who fell to
The
earth.
man who fell to earth.
the man from Earth.
The man from Earth.
Basically, well,
less than
Gary's
3
looking that
million.
up. It's all just set in a living room. It's a teacher's going away party. Tony Todd's is in it. Candyman.
David
But
Lee Smith.
basically, the truth that comes out, the guy who's going away, because he always goes away after working a few years at a school, he says he is Jesus Christ. And the whole film is just him explaining it to all the teachers and them, like, right, if you're Jesus, then what did you do for this? No. And it's just quite an interesting watch, just 5 teachers or whatever in a room, like, try to work out if this guy really is or was Jesus.
If you scroll down, we'll get
Okay.
the budget for this on IMDb. Somewhere on IMDb. It's usually quite far down the page, I think.
Jesus Christ, where is it?
No, there's nothing for budget.
No.
Oh wait, here we go. Box office,
Keep going
200 grand.
at the box office.
200
no,
grand.
Keep going
no,
past
that's
tech.
budget. Budget,
oh, yeah, so
200
budget.
grand.
So do I still win?
Yeah, but you could have
Yeah,
blown it on that one, right?
technically, I mean, like, I
244,000.
think we maybe ask the audience. Just say in the comments if you think Steed deserves to win.
Do you think he needs to
Aye,
win?
shamelessly plugging his own film.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
there's an Oscar there getting waved by Gary.
Yeah, I was going to bring a prize for you because I knew it was going to be you that would win it anyway. But I didn't. I forgot. I was rushing out the door and there was an awful lot. So let me present the Oscar to Steed.
Steed's new sex toy.
This is the first of many. Probably. Best graduate. There you go.
It's going to be getting turned brown soon.
All right, lovely stuff.
Thank you, Gary. I'd like to thank all of our listeners, subscribers, and Patreons. And let's talk about stuff that's nothing to do with acting or anything and get political. And I'll shut my puss now.
Thank you, God, and fuck off.
Death to James Corden.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we should probably call an end to this. I think it's been just over an hour. So our next one might be live. You never know. But this has been a test of the emergency broadcast system, and hopefully everything will be recorded, and we haven't just been sitting here talking with nothing going on to the disc.
Like we did with the second episode that you'll never get to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've also got some incredible guests lined up that are super duper secret. Super duper secret in case they're like, nah, stuff that. These are a bunch of wankers.
No, I can say we're going to have Adrian Smith on.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Not from Iron Maiden.
No, from illustration art fame. Warhammer fame.
Maybe on the next episode. So anyway, let's bid you good night. Stay safe, and
Keep in touch with yourself.
Whoa!